All right. So obviously, as I mentioned, we always want to have a lot of free stuff, and and that's really important. That being said, the free stuff doesn't directly net us any income, right? It's more of an indirect kind of a thing, but it does not meet our. It does really help to establish good faith in the marketplace. All right, so today is day two of our 4 day live workshop or live challenge. And today is all about your grand total income, the metrics, numbers, pricing, and participants to hit your desired yearly goal. So, guys, just want to let you know a lot of numbers today. Nothing complicated, actually, really pretty straightforward and easy, but definitely a lot of numbers. So, but this is really important. I think you're going to get a ton out of today's session. It is one of the most important things that we can do in a business, and that is to really take pen to paper and do some projections, some financial projections. And so I'm going to walk you through that today. All right. All right. So again, hello everybody and welcome. Lesli Bitel here. And again, I'm so happy that you're here with me. As you know, this is our 4 day masterclass challenge, multiple streams of income for your health practice. And once again, we have a new handout, a new PDF just for today. So be sure that you've downloaded it from again, you can grab that at the top of the page in the Facebook group. You can also go to the file section inside the Facebook group. If anyone is having a hard time finding it, just let us know in the comments, and someone from my team will give you a hand. All right. All righty, let's see here. Okay. All right. So yesterday we talked about the importance of having various offers at different price points for your audience. And really, we touched quite a lot on how having only one-to-one services really tends to leave out a lot of people who would really otherwise be willing to take a smaller or maybe more of a medium-sized step with you, but they're not quite ready for private work. Okay. And how not having a variety of offers and opportunities like a home study program or a 6 week webinar series or even a 2 day workshop, at the end of the day, you are leaving money on the table, right? By not having these services. And that's really what we're going to try to solve this week. So, and really the other thing that I think is really important is that not having this profit pyramid, really filled in for yourself, not only does it leave money on the table, but it also keeps you from serving everyone that you can. So people need your help. I think that's a really important concept to remember as we move forward. People need your help. They need what you do. And so, so we want to give them options so that we can, pretty much have a little something for everyone that is within your niche. So remember, your homework last night was for you to fill in your own profit pyramid to decide what kind of product or program that you want to put at each level of the pyramid based on how I define the best options and also the reasoning behind them. And one thing I really want to emphasize, again, is that you do not have to know how you're going to get there, okay? You don't have to know the how. I don't expect you to know the how. All right. So please don't let that hold you back. Put that aside. And really, what we're trying to do here, instead of knowing how to get there, all we're doing here is I want to help you to map out your service options and really have a tool to help you forecast your revenue, your desired revenue, right? Because so often we don't take the time to do that. I think it's super important to have a revenue goal, and then we need to carry it to the next step, which is, okay, we have this goal. How am I going to get there? What's it going to take? And that's exactly what I'm going to help you do today. All right. So today we want to calculate how many enrollments / clients it'll take for you to hit your revenue goal. All right. So when we get to the Q&A portion of today's training, I'm looking forward to hearing what you all came up with in terms of, today's session, as well as, yes, last night's homework. I'm hoping that you'll be willing to share. You'll be able to ask for some feedback and clarifications if you need to do that, so that, again, we can get you a solid plan that you're really excited about. And guys, if you happen to miss yesterday's training, no worries. I know some of you joined us today. Don't worry about that. The recording is still up in the Facebook group, so you can reference that later. All right. So for today, please grab the worksheet entitled Your Grand Total Income. And you can see that on your screen right now. All right. So without further ado, what we're going to do is we're going to assign some projections, meaning some numbers, to the profit pyramid that we created yesterday. And yesterday, I gave you some real life client examples from people that I've actually worked with. And today, I'll remind you of some of their numbers so you can see exactly how and where these fit into the plan. So in other words, yesterday, we looked at the different levels of services you might offer in your business or in your practice. We looked at having opportunities for clients that start way at the bottom level after your fees, after your free resources, at about 47 up to 147. And then all the way up to the top, representing your highest ticket services, right? Which is typically what you do with private clients. And then we filled in all those different levels in between. So today we're going to look at how to create projections for your business. And what that means is we'll look at what you want to create and determine what the pricing will be and how many people you want to have in each program over a 12-month period of time. So you can, again, use this as a business plan, an actual business model, and you can project your annual income that you're going to make. So it's a really great tool. So I'm going to start by having us pull out, again, today's worksheet. We're going to look at the profit pyramid I created for yesterday that showed all the different levels of services that we were using as our example. And today we're going to begin to put numbers to them. So let's go ahead and do that now. So, all right, here we go. All right, so guys, remember I told you it's kind of a lot of numbers, but it's super simple math. So I just wanted to give you as much detail as I possibly could. All right, so obviously, as I mentioned, we always want to have a lot of free stuff. And that's really important. That being said, the free stuff doesn't directly net us any income, right? It's more of an indirect kind of a thing, but it does not meet it does really help to establish good faith in the marketplace, and basically it's from tasting our work, trying us out by hearing us speak in person, or, perhaps by offering Facebook or Instagram videos, maybe by reading an ebook that we put out there, or maybe listening to you on a podcast, etc., right? All kinds of different ideas that your target audience becomes introduced to your work, and then that know, like, and trust begins to develop. So, of course, all that free stuff does pay off, without a doubt. It's incredibly important, but it's not something we're going to assign a direct monetary value to in the schematic, okay? So that said, it's always a good idea to ask your clients where they found you. So I do want to emphasize that. It's a great way to do a little market research. And this way you can actually validate which of your free offers are effective and maybe which ones are not doing so much for you. So we're going to assign monetary values to all the other levels of the profit pyramid. And as we work our way through the examples, I'm going to use actually very reasonable numbers that I've seen many, many times with my private clients, as well as colleagues and other health professionals. So we're not going to go for like some crazy astronomical, kind of pie in the sky kind of numbers where I'm going to promise, how you're going to make $1 million in your first year, right? I'm not about that. Instead, we're going to use some really realistic numbers that I see people booking all the time, because I want you to be able to see what's really possible for you. All right. So we're not going to, no BS here. Okay. Now, full transparency is that I have clients that make much more than this. And I have some that make, around this amount while working a full-time job, actually, like my client, Kevin, that hit 125K in 2020 while working only 6 hours a week in his private practice while holding a full-time job at the VA. Interestingly, then in 2022, he hit 200K and was actually in 2021, he hit 200K and was actually able to quit his job to do private practice full time. So right in December of 2021, he was able to quit the VA job. And it's because he was able to grow his practice on the side. And, once he hit that 200K mark, he felt comfortable in moving into full-time private practice. So again, these are examples. Your goals might be much higher or lower. Honestly, guys, it really depends on your unique situation. I want you to be somewhat realistic when setting your goals, but at the same time, I want you to stretch yourself as well. It's kind of like Goldilocks in terms of goal setting, right? You don't want it to be too easy because that's kind of boring, but yet you don't want it to be so crazy high that you get frustrated even before you start. You kind of want that happy medium where it's a stretch. It challenges you, but yet it's reasonably obtainable. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. So today we're actually going to start at the top of the pyramid versus the bottom. And we're going to start with private client packages that I've labeled segment A from that first handout. So segment A, if you look at today's handout, this is the handout that assigns those metrics. So for private clients, here's what I'm proposing as a sample for each half of the year, okay? So I've divided the year into 2 6-month segments. All right, guys, really important. So let's say for your private one-on-one services, you have a 6-month intensive, let's just say very reasonably priced at $29.97. And a 3-month signature program, let's say you've got that priced at $19.97. And then let's say a continuation program for people that finish their initial commitment with you and want to continue their work with you. Let's just assign a monetary value to $500 per month for a continuation program. All right, so let's just say hypothetically for this year that you're projecting that you want only 4 people in your $29.97 6-month intensive. Okay, let's just say hypothetically, because you want to spread this out, you decide that each half of the year, you might have 2 6-month clients, again, at a package valued at $29.97, again, for a grand total of 4 per year. Very, very reasonable. So I've divided these into 6-month increments just to show you how, if you're someone that doesn't want to take on too many clients at one time, this is a good model for you, right? So I'm showing you how to split that up into 2 6-month increments. Okay, then for your 3-month signature program, let's forecast that you will take a total of 16 per year, each selling for $19.97. Okay. Then let's say, hope you guys are following me. Just if you look at the right upper, look at your handout in the right upper side, you should be able to follow right along. All right. So Okay, so again, we're talking your 3-month signature program, and we're forecasting that you will take a total of 16 in this program per year, each selling for $19.97. And again, I think this is really quite reasonable. And then let's say that half of those, or 8, okay, so we're just kind of projecting that half of these people, 8 of them that do the 3-month program stop when the program ends. Okay, so that leaves 8 that continue into a continuation program at $500 a month. Okay, so you've got 16 total. 8 of them, we just project, 8 are going to be good to go after their program. They're going to, move on. And then we're projecting that half say, wow, this was so awesome. I want more. I'm not quite ready to go out on my own. And they enroll in a continuation program where you're charging $500 a month. If we break this into 6-month increments, like I did on your handout, again, look at that upper right corner area under the letter A. You end up with 4 3-month clients, again, 8 per year, who started this 90-day package selling at $19.97. And again, these folks stayed beyond the 90-day initial commitment for a monthly $500 a month continuation program. So hopefully that makes sense to everybody. And let's say, just hypothetically, that they stay about 3 additional months. Okay, so they love you, they love what you've offered, and they're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to stop. And each of these folks say, you know what, I want to stick around. I want to do a month to month program. And hypothetically, we're just estimating that each of them is going to stay an extra 3 months. This is extremely realistic. I've seen it a lot, which is why I use these numbers. And then let's say you have 4 clients, again, each half of the year, that, again, just do the 90-day program, right? So we've already talked about these folks. That's it. They don't continue. They have a great 90-day intensive experience with you, each paying $19.97. So that would mean each half of the year, these are the people doing the 90-day program only. So you'd essentially have 2 in the first 3 months and 2 in the second 3 months of that 6-month window that we're looking at, right? So I just want to make that part clear. Okay, so again, we're looking at a 6-month window where you have 2 6-month clients the whole time. You'd have 4 3-month clients who stayed an additional 3 months. So essentially they ended up doing 6 months of services in all. And then you'd have 4 3-month clients, only 2 at a time, the first 3 months and the second 3 months of that, again, 6-month window. Okay, so hopefully you're following along. Now that adds up to $28,000 for a 6-month period in the year. And mind you, I am rounding up to fill in these numbers. So we're going to want to double it, right? Because you got a whole year. So we're going to double that, because over the course of the year, repeating this, the first half of the year and the second half of the year, you'd be bringing in $56K in private client income. So now I do want to note this represents only 8 private clients at a time. And I picked this number because it's extremely doable. Very, very doable. In fact, I will share with you, I've kind of surveyed many of my private clients, and to be really transparent, many of my clients cap their one-on work at 20. So they're actually taking 20 clients at a time, which is, I will say that's pretty much a handful, but just so you kind of have a point of reference. So 8 is like extremely doable. So you've got the 2 6-month clients, you've got the 4 3-month clients who continue. So you've got them throughout, and then you have only 2 at a time of those clients in that last bullet point, right? 2 the first 3 months and 2 the second. So in this very easy and realistic model, you're really only serving 8 private clients at any given time for 56,000 of annual revenue. So not a bad paycheck, right? Now, there are health professionals whose practices command higher than this for their private work. I think we all know people who have a 6-month program and a 90-day program that actually are, charging much more. Case in point, my client Ashley has a 6-month program for IBD clients that she sells for $49.97. So almost $5K a person. And I also know people with 3-month programs that are more in the range of $2,500 to $3,000. But what I want to give you on our handout, again, are numbers that are really in the ballpark of what's absolutely doable in the market. Now, of course, you're giving them your most attention, your highest level of services in this individual one-on-one program. You're giving the most amount of time with you, right? Hand-holding, the highest level of accessibility. And like I mentioned, often you give them, it really depends on, your program. There's no have-tos here. Quite often what I do see is that clients do have the ability to message you in this high-level program, potentially on your, your EMR, right? Where they can do instant messaging. Maybe they email you, whatever really works. And they have extra contact and Q&A time in between the scheduled sessions with you. So this is the highest price and the highest amount of hand-holding, which is why, again, it's the highest level on your profit pyramid. Now, as I mentioned yesterday, my client Karen, who specializes in autoimmune and gut health, she actually made $30,000 in private client sales by enrolling 15 people into her 3-month program. And she did this in January, just last month, at about $2,000 a person. I think actually it was $19.97. So this is level A, of course, in the profit pyramid. Then there's my client Jackie, who made $23,575 in 1 month. Again, via a combination of private client sales and one high ticket small group, which we'll talk about here in just a moment. And then my client Kevin, who has 3 small kids at home, and again, was working full time at the VA when he made $18K in 1 month. And in order to do this, he bumped his hours up in his practice from, he was working only 6 hours a week. In order to generate $18K, he bumped it up to 10 to 12 hours a week, and then worked full time and, has 3 kids. So the point is, it's super doable for you guys. Now, of course, I've taught them how to market themselves, how to promote their work, and most importantly, how to close their sales. In other words, how to actually enroll clients into these packages and programs, because that's really the linchpin of all of this, which is why I'm so excited to be opening my 6-Figure Biz Academy. Again, as of yesterday, we've opened the doors, and this is the 4th time I've run it, back due to popular demand. And we cover all of this stuff in detail so that you can actually achieve similar results. Just a quick reminder, you can read all about that again at www.sixfigurebizacademy.com. And just want to remind you that the first step is a chat. It really is. We want to have a chat with you just to ensure it's a good fit, that you're a good fit for the Academy, and that the Academy is your next step in your trajectory. So it's not a yes, it's not a no, it's simply an exploratory conversation. So if you're here in this masterclass and really want to create a profitable business that is sustainable over the long haul, I really want to encourage you to check out that page and at least have a conversation with me or someone on my team. And, just a reminder, there is that money back guarantee. So really removing all the risk.